She still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Zhang Weili is furious.
She's upset. 100%. 100%.
Oh, from the desert all the way to the other desert on the other side of the world. Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of Axe Cake Picks, episode 127. Today is August 9th, 2024, presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer. More on them in just a little. But Joey, how the hell you doing, kid? The hurricane hit you down there in the Carolinas?
Yeah, finally some sunny weather we're getting. But I spent my morning watching one Friday Fight 74. And this evening, we're not covering it, but Invicta, they're on tonight, taking center stage on CBS Sports Network. That's Invicta FC 56. So a couple stuff to watch tonight, gearing up for tomorrow's events.
How were the fights this morning? Because I was getting updates while I was working in the morning. Apparently, there were some good finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, explosive finishes. It's always fun to start your weekend with that Muay Thai and small 4-ounce gloves.
Oh, absolutely. But not the biggest episode today. A little to talk about. We got some news and notes that broke over the week. We'll discuss that. Little in the PFL, little in the UFC as well. Like I said, UFC is back at the Capitol in lovely Las Vegas. UFC Vegas 95. Joe, we're 5 away from the UFC 100 Apex. I wonder, they had Alex Pereira come for UFC 300. Are they going to have him for Apex 100? We need a big guy.
No. He's too big of that. Yeah. But that'd be funny, even if they do a big name on the UFC Vegas 100 card. But I doubt it. I bet you'd be a snooze fest, and then we can get over it completely.
Yeah, hopefully we do get back into the real world, but we got to hit 100 first. We came so far. So UFC Vegas 95 this weekend as well. Joey has 2 plays as well for boxing, and then we'll head across the pond in England where we got PKFC over the weekend as well. But Joe, we got a main event for the next fight night in the Apex UFC Vegas 96 the week after Perth, August 24th. Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier taking Caio Borralho, 5-round main event at middleweight. I think this is a barn burner, honestly. I really do. He's finally getting that step up in competition in Caio Borralho. He's sitting at 12th. And Jared Cannonier, I know he had a very close fight with Nasruddin Imavov, and he kind of wanted to run it back, but it kind of reminds me of like the BSD where they're throwing Jared Cannonier to the wolves with Caio Borralho, kid.
But no, Caio Borralho has to be careful, bro. Cannonier is, no lamb to be slaughtered. Honestly, he's out there for blood, and I think he's going to revenge tour. So, it's a big step up in competition. We were asking for it, we're getting it. But man, Cannonier is a beast, bro. That power is the X factor. I think he has the edge with that. I wonder how they look size wise compared to one another, but I like that fight a lot. It's a good one.
Yeah, I do too. I was trying to see if they had any yeah, they do have lines, and wow. Oh, minus 145 Caio Borralho, plus 122 Jared Cannonier.
Don't you think Cannonier deserves the odds to be in his favor?
100%, because this is a guy that's competed at 3 different weight classes, and he's had success everywhere he's gone. And you could even make an argument that he won his last fight against Nasruddin Imavov. So I think he's being a little disrespected, but that's just saying the odds maker think the world of Caio Borralho. If they give him a minus 144 favorite to the number 4 guy in the world, number 5, excuse me. But that's saying something. They think highly of this guy, Caio Borralho. Do you think he deserves to be that big of a favorite?
Do you see the potential? I think the floor is high and the ceiling is even higher. So I don't think if they lose a lot of stock if he doesn't look too bad. Obviously, if he gets the floor mopped with him, it might have pause for concern. But I don't see that. From the way I've seen him, he's on his 12 or 13 fight win streak. I feel like he's going to be able to keep up with the upper echelon of fighters. So don't sleep on Caio Borralho. But like I said, Jared Cannonier, I think, deserved to be the favorite. But maybe I guess to get the book swinging in one favor.
Yeah. We got also a fight for Abu Dhabi UFC 308 October 26. Bruno Ferreira taking Abbas Magomedov. Do you like that fight for Abbas?
Abbas Magomedov is fighting who?
Bruno Ferreira.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, no, I heard the last name for Hannah, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. But no, that should be a good one. I like these guys getting in there, mixing it up. sneaky fight that's probably going to be on like a
Yeah.
preliminary part of a card, and could steal the show. Could absolutely steal the show.
Remember, Abu's headlined an Apex card against Sean Strickland not that long ago, but I do agree. I think it's a good fight for prelims in Abu Dhabi. We get our first official fight, because we all think John Jones versus Stipe Miocic will headline November 16th, UFC 309 at Madison Square Garden. But the first official fight on the card, your boy Eric Anders taking on Chris Weidman, the All-American. What a fight. I like this one, kid.
Wow, yeah, the ex-Alabama linebacker, taking on the All-American wrestler. I think that's a treat for the fans. And Chris Weidman's back, man. I feel like after coming back from the injury, coming back after all the setup, you saw him live. Yeah. Man, he's a man on a mission. He's doing it for the people. He's doing it for his family. And he's doing it for himself. He even spoke on that in his interviews, and I like that fight. I like your boy, so I don't know where I'll be going in that one, but I'll definitely be locked in.
Oh, it should be a good fight because I like both of them. I mean, how can you not like Chris Weidman after the performance he put on in Atlantic City, and then your boy Eric Anders? He's just a stud. I know he was on a 2-fight loss streak or skid.
How many UFC fighters can say they have a national championship?
Not many, only your boy. And I think I'm burying the lead here. Francis Ngannou is back. He will take on Renan Ferreira, which we all kind of assumed that would happen for the PFL heavyweight title, October 19th. Also, the GOAT, Chris Cyborg, she returns against Larissa Pacheco for the co-main event. Huge night for the PFL. If I could be that one guy that I really don't too much with the name. It's the Super Fight PFL on something. No, just put PFL Super Fight. That's it. Keep it simple, PFL. You're doing too much.
Complicated now.
Love it both. I think this is a fight that I don't mind paying for, because my one problem with the PFL is you give the whole season tournament for free on ESPN, but then for the finals, you make the customers pay, which they shouldn't. They shouldn't be paying for that. Give it to us for free on ESPN. And then on something like this, where you have multiple championships on the line, then you make it pay for it. So that's my one concern with the PFL. But I do like this fight, or both of them. I love Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira. And to be honest, I kind of like the dog, kid. I mean, he's huge right now. Minus 345 for Francis Ngannou, plus 300 for Renan Ferreira. I think there's some value here. And the guy hasn't fought MMA in 2 years. I mean, there's going to be some rust.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of value in Renan Ferreira, and he matches up well with him, size-wise. And not a lot of fighters could match up with Francis Ngannou in terms of size and also, filling out that frame. But as opposed, Francis has now felt someone that tall, and Tyson Fury. Yeah, granted, it was in the boxing ring, but I feel like Francis will come in prepared. So I think it's a good fight. But like you said, there is value in Renan Ferreira, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, the ability to match up with the size, reach, leg advantage, and his ability to stand on the feet and throw strikes, flying knees, front kicks. Like, they're all dangerous weapons that he possesses. So I think it's a great fight. I'm looking at both dogs with a close eye, because not only Renan Ferreira, but I think Larissa Pacheco could shock a lot of people.
You want to hear the odds?
She's a little more is she the favorite?
Larissa Pacheco minus 115. Wow. Chris Cyborg minus 105. You can never count out Chris Cyborg, though.
No, absolutely not. No, but I expected her to be the favorite with her resume. Granted, I know she's lost to Amanda Nunes, who, you said, whoa, I think you have to reserve that for your girl, Clarissa Shields. But, one of the greatest women athletes of all time. Absolutely non-debatable. But, she lost to Nunes. And if we're going to argue that Larissa Pacheco is up on that level in terms of striking, I think that's why we see the odds the way we do. So, yeah, you can't sleep on Chris Cyborg, but Larissa Pacheco is live, and we see it now.
I think that's the best fight that the PFL could make in the women's division. If they can't get Amanda Nunes out of retirement and Kayla Harrison going over to the UFC, they had to make these two fight.
And how about in terms of all women's fighting across all promotions? Might be the biggest one that they can make.
I agree, and I
said Kayla Harrison, but she can't fight them, and
Yeah.
I don't see anyone in the UFC having that kind of star power.
No, and let's not forget Larissa Pacheco beat Kayla Harrison the last time out. And I would argue, Joe, the Larissa Pacheco and Chris Cyborg, two of the top 5, top 6 bantamweight / flyweights in the world, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, this is the biggest fight. Me and you were talking before we went on, and I was saying I think I like the co-main event better than the main event.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the fight to make in the women's division. I'm happy. This is the name. I forgot. It's called PFL Super Fights Battle of the Giants Brace for Impact. What the fuck are we calling it? Is it Brace for Impact?
Is it Battle of the Giants? Is it the PFL Super?
Just call it PFL Super Fights. That's it.
Let's exactly. That's why UFC moved away from like gimmicky names when they used to do like Day of Reckoning, stuff like that. And just leave that to the boxing community. Let them keep up with the namesakes.
They say less is more sometimes, Joe, and I think this is a perfect example. But yeah, like I said, those are the only 2 fights that were announced. I know AJ McKee is going to be on the card. He has a fight announced as well. I think No opponent just yet. I love how he announced it on his OnlyFans. He's a G for that. AJ McKee's the man. But also, no location. I gotta think it's gonna be in the Middle East, though, right?
Yeah, they would like doing it over there. If it's
Francis Ngannou did hint at it on the Joe Rogan podcast that he thinks it's gonna be in either Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do it in the Middle East, the money's there. So I mean, why not?
Yeah, 100%. So I was bearing the lead with that. But yeah, big fights that were announced over the weekend. Can't wait for October 19th. Like I said, headlined by Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira for the PFL heavyweight title. Now, Chris Cyborg, she has the Bellator belt, but Larissa Pacheco, she was just the last season's champion. She doesn't really have a belt. So my question to you, and I don't know if you know the answer, but if she goes out there and beats Chris Cyborg, does she become Bellator? I know they're trying to keep it separate for right now, but I was kind of confused.
Is the belt that she should,
right?
And then I would think that you actually can now give it up to her as an option whether or not she wants to fight in the season format or if she wants to fight in the Bellator Super Fight Day of Reckoning, whatever the hell you call it. But if I were her and she was getting paid more per fight, then I'd fight once or twice a year. I hate to be like that. As a fans, we want to see them fight multiple times a year. But as a fighter, I'd love to get paid more to fight less. And so I think 100%. If she had the options, she might take fighting for the quote unquote Bellator.
You see a lot of people, and even a guy like Shane Burgos, local guy, he said he likes this in-season format. It fits some people a little better, but sometimes the weight cut is a little too much. And when you're that high of a status like those 4 fighters we just named, you don't have to fight 4 times in a year. You could fight 2 times in a year and still get paid relatively well. Yes. There's a press conference as well, August 28th. By Jake Paul. I like what they're doing with him as well.
Yeah, he wants to fight for the Olympics in 2028, supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. But
I don't know how you can go pro. You can't go pro and then go back amateur. I don't think you can do that.
No, you can't. So I really don't know what that was about. I know he went on a podcast today and said that he wants to bring gold home, but whatever. But I like what they're doing with the PFL. I like what they're doing with him, kind of bringing eyeballs to it, hosting the press conference instead of a guy like Ariel Helwani or Don Davis, for example. Like you don't need more.
You could have the more casual of a viewer than the hardcore. Like more hardcore fans would know of an Ariel Helwani, like you said, than the casual. They might not catch an eye to him.
I love I don't know if you saw the trailer for it, but I love how they put in Mike Tyson for 2 words at the end, the last like 5 to 10 seconds. I'm like, they must have paid Mike a pretty penny for that.
Yeah, and speaking of, honestly, boxing does a great job with their like teaser trailers. I don't know if you saw over the past weekend. I think I failed to mention over a recap episode, the trailer with Bud Crawford and Israel Madrimov. Man, it
amazing.
You saw it, right? It was like their upbringing together, and then like how they met, and
I'll say this about boxing: they do a great job at storytelling. Something that the UFC really, I guess, stays away from. But
they trip over their own feet. I feel like at some times they execute it very well, but at other times they miss the mark. And so I just feel like at a value of production that they do offer, they should be able to capitalize on that type of stuff.
Oh, 100%. I'm glad you brought that up because I did see that. I was like, wow, this was really good.
That
Even
was
the
so
even the matchroom in Queensberry when they fought and they had their promo, I was like, wow, I was blown
chills.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they do that really well boxing.
Yes, sir.
See, we could say positive things about boxing.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on now. But Joe, that's all I got for news. Let me go over to before we get actually over to our plays, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf or new flavor coconut watching UFC Vegas 95, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Joe, let's get into it. Back at the Apex, lovely Las Vegas, headlined by a heavyweight bout in a rematch that we saw a few years ago, but few missed weight cuts. Chelsea Chandler, 5 pounds over the bantamweight limit. She weighed in at 141. Chepe Mascow, he misses weight by 3.5 pounds. He has till 2 o'clock. Right now, it's 1:52 here on the East Coast, but apparently the fight is still on. Damon Jackson will take 25% of Mascow's purse. And then Danny Barlow, he misses weight by 1.5 pounds as well. The fine will be 25% of his purse as well. So not off to the best start, kid.
No, but hey, I might as well make a missed weight parlay because I do have those 3. I hate to, kind of forecast, but I have those 3 plays. So let's go.
I knew you were going to take Chelsea Chandler.
No, okay, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But here's UFC Vegas 95 in hopes that they never make past UFC Vegas 100. So let's start it off in the strawweight division for the women, and it's Stephanie Luciano, minus 155, taking on Talita Alencar at plus 145. They fought in the past. They fought to a no contest or a draw, I believe. And, Alencar, she's a jiu-jitsu player. I think she wants to wind up on the ground, but Luciano did in that fight, found a way to avoid that. But anytime we wound there was a lot of stalling, and that's why I think we wound up with the decision we did last time. So if Luciano can let her hands fight, I think she'll have the advantage. Give me her. She's a slight favorite, like I said, minus 155, but I feel comfortable taking her on the money line. So Stephanie Luciano, you're going to be my first play of the day. I'm going to take the next fight as well, and then it's a featherweight division between Jarno Aarons, Netherlands own, plus 350, man. Shocked a lot of people last time out. He's taking on Youssef Zalal at minus 400, man. Youssef Zalal has been on a burner, bro. He's been getting finishes. He's been winning. He's been doing everything. He's got a good resume. I like him in a spot. I did fade Jarno Aarons once. Got it right. Last time out, like I said, he proved a lot of people wrong, proved me wrong, and burned my ticket. But I got to go against him again, hoping it'll pay off once more. Zalal, like I said, has been on a roll. So I'm going to take him straight up on the money line. I know it's minus 400, but, man, he has the ability to submit you. He has the ability to finish you, and he has the ability to dominate, get that decision. So don't know which to play it. But I got a little surprise for you guys at the end with all these plays straight up. So the next fight for you guys is in the heavyweight division, and Carl Williams, he's from the U.S. Virgin Islands. When I looked at him, I'm like, what is that? That's so weird. But he's minus 200. He's taking down Jonathan Deniz at plus 175. The ex-Glory kickboxer, Jonathan Deniz, he has that pedigree. He's got that stand-up. But Carl Williams finds a way to grind you out, man. I like Carl Williams a lot, but I do like Deniz. So I didn't put a play on this. I think it can go either way. Those heavyweights, man, all it takes is one swing of the bat, basically, and it can be out of there. So I think there's some value in the dog. Don't get me wrong, plus 175 for a guy who likes to stand up and might have an advantage there if he could get out of takedowns. I think he's live. But like I said, no official play for me with the Carl Williams versus Jonathan Deniz fight. Now in the next one, it's the women's bantamweight division. We were talking about the women's bantamweights, and we're here talking about them again. It's Carol Rosa at minus 200, taking on Bonnie Kianzad at plus 180. Bonnie Kianzad burned me last time. Remember, I had her against Macy Chizon, and I had Macy Chizon the first time around. They had fought that prior time. Macy Chizon got her. I was like, there's no way, she's got her number. She's going to get her again. But then when they had that match rescheduled, I said, Bianca Kianzad, value in her. Don't like the plus 180 here. She burned me on that last ticket. I got to say that Carl Rosa's going to be the one here, but minus 200. I know I played the minus 400 before, but D-Rock, forgive me if I'm not going to be too greedy and taking the minus 200. I don't have an official play, but just maybe take my words with a little idea where I'm heading in that one. I got another fight for you guys in the bantamweight division again, but it's for the men's. 4 consecutive bantamweight division fights, between the men's and women's up here going. So Charalampus Gregory is minus 225. He's taking on Toshiomi Kazama at plus 225. Kazama, 2 consecutive first-round knockout losses. I think he finds himself in trouble a lot. Got to go with Gregory here. Favorite, rightfully so. I think he's got the explosive knockout capability. Only a few of his fights have gone to distance, but I don't think it does here. So looking for a finish. Didn't take a prop, so I'll play Gregory straight up on the middle line at minus 225. Feeling safe for a finish, though.
I like that fight or that play because that's what I was looking at. The guy, he's very wild and he gets knocked out, like you said, last 2 fights. And that was the start of the main card, correct?
I believe so, yeah. It's very interesting. It was a 4-fight preliminary card, so we're getting treated with like a 6-fight main card, a 4-fight prelim card. So, hey, so be it. I'll be locked in. You know how it goes. Yana Santos makes her return at minus 145, taking on Chelsea Chandler, who, as you said, missed weight by 5 pounds, man. That's going to weigh significant in this fight. Like I said, I might want to take Chelsea Chandler. I have it. I think there's some value on like the verdict prediction, trying to get some XP. Maybe you see it at plus 125, but you know how sometimes the 135-pound women's weight class can go. It could go either way when it gets to the judges' scorecard. So I have no official play in that one either. So 3 no official plays for me over the course of the evening. But let's get into a play that I do like here. Back in the bantamweight division, but this time for the men's. El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez is the heaviest favorite on the card. Minus 515. I saw him against Kwang Lee at plus 425. Chris Gutierrez is now fighting his 3rd straight Chinese opponent. And I think he'll settle in this one, and I think maybe secure a finish. The past 2 fights, a tough Alatangeli went to decision, and then lost against Song Yadong. We know how talented the young Song Yadong is. So Chris Gutierrez, I think with the experience now, and then fighting 3 consecutive, I think he get this dude out of there. I got to play him straight up because, like I said, I do have a treat for you at the end. But give me Chris Gutierrez in this one. I like him. Last-minute replacement. He would have been fun in like Eros Medic or something like that. So he was going to fight a way higher level competition. I think he was ready for that one, and he certainly is ready for this one. So now let's go into the featured bout of UFC Vegas 95, and it'll take place in the welterweight division. Disappointed that left-handed guy Danny Barlow missed weight, but he's minus 350 on this against Nikolai Vernikov at plus 320, one of the bigger dogs. So D-Rock, I'll pass it off to you. What do you got in the featured bout?
Yeah, I like this play a lot. If you can still get plus money, I'm going to take Danny Barlow to win via KO, TKO. I got it at plus 110. I see plus 115s out there. His opponent, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but he is tough. But Barlow has hands that will send people to the shadow realm. Not worried about the weight miss. I think this kid is special and definitely someone to keep your eye on, especially for next year. So I'm high on Danny Brown. I think the kid is the real deal. Give me via KO, TKO for Danny Barlow.
Yeah, Danny Barlow. I love the nickname, left-handed god. Yeah, Veritenikov, Nikolai Veritenikov. And I just don't think he has a shot. He's a last-minute replacement as well. Danny Barlow, explosive power, coming in, missing weight. He's going to have the weight advantage, the size advantage, the reach advantage. I'm with you. I like the Danny Barlow finish. I do think a KO happens between the 1st or 2nd round, but I just took him straight up. I have that little treat at the end. I'm getting there, but I keep mentioning it. Let's go into the co-main event of UFC Vegas 95, and it'll take place in the featherweight division. Machine Gun Chepe Mariscal is minus 220. Taking on the Leech, Damon Jackson at plus 200. D-Rock, I'll yet again hand it off to you. Who do you like in this?
Joe, low-key, I love this fight between Damon Jackson and Chepe Mariscal. Could be fight of the night, in my opinion. And to be honest, I'm surprised at how wide the odds are here for Chepe. Damon Jackson, he's fought the better level of competition, and Chepe is just a grinder. You know, I think the value is with the dog, and if he gets this fight to the crown, low key, I think we could see a submission from Damon Jackson. But I'm gonna take the value here. I'm gonna take the dog plus 186. Give me Damon Jackson.
Can't knock that play at all. He looked good against Alex Hernandez. I know it was a split decision, but he rightfully won that. There shouldn't have been no scorecards for Alex Hernandez there. But like you said, Chepe Mariscal is a grinder, never been finished by submission in his career. I think that's Damon Jackson's path to victory in this one. I think Chepe Mariscal can outpoint him, outvolume him, maybe even outgrind him when it comes to grappling exchanges, maybe do better with the wrestling. So I know I'm taking a lot of favorites in this card, but Chepe Mariscal, I'm going with you again. Minus 220, taking straight up on the scorecards. Don't think I see a finish in this one. I think the main and the co-main event slots are right. I think they're the closest anticipated fights. So let's go into said main event, and that's in the heavyweight division where we get the rematch. Marcin Tybura, plus 145, taking on Sergey Spivak at minus 150. And D-Rock, let me hand it off to you, my boy. What do you got?
Yeah, I think Sergey Spivak has got a little too high as a favorite, in my opinion. He's kind of become a one-trick pony where he kind of tries to wrestle his opponent, keep top position, get him along the cage, keep him there. But against Marcin Tybura, I don't think he'll be able to do that. We already saw Marcin Tybura fight. Like you said, this is a rematch against Spivak, and he won that fight. We've also seen Tybura fight other grapplers / wrestlers and Romanov as well. Romanov took a slight dip, but regardless, we've seen him against grapplers and wrestlers, and on the feet, I think Marcin Tybura is a better striker, and as the fight goes deeper, I think it favors Tybura, so I think he gets it done. I think the value's with him as a dog, so plus 140, my Polish friend, give me Marcin Tybura.
Going with the Polish power, and I'm on the other side. I got the polar bear. You know, I think it's based off the age for me. You know, first time around, Tybura was in the prime of his career. Spivak was the young guy up and coming. He surely wasn't there yet. He was just finding his footing in the UFC. And I think after a couple tough losses and a couple of good wins, he's gotten that experience under his belt and is poised to get this win back, get this fight back that I think he's been talking about. And he's been, eating at him. It's hard to beat the same guy twice. I think that's the issue what I'm seeing with Tybura. I think if Spivak looks back, I think Tybura hasn't evolved as much. I think the same could kind of be argued for Spivak. I don't think he's evolved all much as well. I think they're very similar in the past that they have been. Just the age has been the difference. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Spivak. I've played pretty much all favorites this evening, so I'm on the opposite side. But like I said, I did have something for you guys. With all my favorite plays, I know it will only take one to ruin it for you guys, but a 7-leg pre-UFC 305 parlay is plus 1,000. And that's what I have on my money line plays. Sergey Spivak, Chepe Mariscal, Danny Barlow, Chris Gutierrez, Charalampis Gregorio, Youssef Zalal, and Stephanie Luciano. All that tallied, like I said, plus 1,000. Let's go, everyone. That was UFC Vegas 95. D-Rock, you have anything else?
No, what could go wrong? All favorites. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
But no, I like that we're on the opposite sides. It usually bodes well for me, just being honest. But
I wonder what our head-to-head matchups are.
We got to start keeping track of that. That's a good call. But yeah, good luck, kid. Like I
no
said,
parlays?
No parlays for me. Yeah, weird. 4-fight prelim starts at 5. Main card starts at 7 here on the East Coast on ESPN. So, yeah, we're locked and loaded, Joe. But 2 plays for boxing. What do you got?
Actually, I just have one. I'm backing now off the other one. I didn't want to pick a side. But this is for the interim WBC super welterweight title. It's between Virgil Ortiz Jr., who is a heavy favorite, minus 270, taking in Sergey Bohachuk plus 250. Dude, both guys, bona fide finishers. I feel like either one of them can catch one another. I know Virgil Ortiz is the favorite. He's been a little more explosive, but Bohachuk, man, he finds those counters so effortlessly. He could find it against Virgil Ortiz. So I see a finish. Fight does not go to distance. Is minus 175. It's not chalky enough, but I'm going to take it. I didn't want to pick a side. I did have the favorite. But I saw the trend this week, and I have to stay away from all the favorites we got going on because I got something else for you.
And that's tomorrow night in Vegas or overseas.
I actually do think it is in. I think it's on the continental U.S. I mean, I'll double check right now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Usually I like
it's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Golden Boy Promotions.
Oh, gotta love it, Golden Boy.
You know,
My boy.
Oscar being there ripping it up.
Clap. I love it. I don't know if you follow Oscar on Twitter, but his clapback Thursdays are the best.
Yeah.
He spends the whole week just jotting down things where he could clap back at people, and he just
doing
goes
coke
off.
in the back room and
Allegedly. But let's go to BKFC tomorrow night, London and Coventry. Is that how you pronounce it?
yeah.
Coventry.
UK.
1-0. Hey, we got to get to that for a month in a row.
That's right. And that's why, I'm trying to speed it up. I got 2 plays for 10 seconds left. Sort of a quick episode. So we're rolling. BKFC 64, co-main event. David Oscar, another Polish fighter. Since I'm fading a Polish fighter this weekend, I'm fading him. He's minus 175, but I like the dog. Rob Boardman plus 130. Home guy fighting at home. I like him. I think he gets a finish. And then Connor Tierney minus 210 in the main event against Johnny Graham at plus 175. Tierney's been finished before. Johnny Graham hunts for knockouts. Watch for the dog again, fighting in his own backyard. I got the 2 guys at home, both dogs. I went favorites throughout the UFC and in boxing, but for bare knuckle, I got both dogs. So Johnny Graham plus 175 and Rob Boardman plus 130. That's 10 seconds left.
Are we going to see a Connor appearance again? I hope so.
Maybe, man. I don't know. It's over there. Last weekend he was in Sturgis, North or South Dakota, either one of the Dakotas. Yeah. But he said he likes the American way. But I'll see it. We'll see if he makes the trip back over. He can do anything he wants.
Yeah, anything. He was dancing with this short. I don't want to say midget because that's like too bad. But it was like a shorter female.
Well, you said so.
Yeah, I already said it. So it's already out there. But yeah. Very weird. I love the comments that were like, yeah, he ain't fighting Chan.
No. Chandler, you need to take another fight. Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's amazing. But, Joe, good luck this weekend. Got a little boxing, got a little BKFC.
Quick episode.
Quick episode. In and out. Get your picks in. We're a little over 24 hours till the fights go off. But, Joe, any big plans this weekend? What are you doing?
No, we're going to plan to go up and watch him kill Tony. But, Tropical Storm Debbie had other plans, so unfortunately I won't be able to make it up. This show would have been live for y'all today, and I would have been there for that show in Madison Square Garden where I'd never been before. So I'm a little disappointed, but I'm sure there'll be other times. There'll be more to come, and I would love to, cover some events, interview some more fighters. I know we'll get some of that stuff going up for you guys, so stay locked and loaded.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy the Carolinas. Hopefully it's warm down there. But that's going to do it for this Friday edition of Axe Kick Picks. On behalf of our sponsor, VFit Tequila, Joey, myself, make sure you guys follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at Axe Kick Picks. If you miss an episode, no worries. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We go live on YouTube as well twice a week. So hit that like button, subscribe, rate. Leave in the comments who you'll be betting on this weekend. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend, and we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.